Browns, Ocho, are trading Kenny Pickett to the Raiders in exchange for a 2026 fifth-round pick. Taken 20th overall by the Pittsburgh Steelers in the 2022 draft, Pickett has now been traded 3 times in his career.
Kevin Stefanski feels like his job may be on the line.
Like, everybody knew, like, this was not the move. Kenny Pickett was not the dude. And this was a smokescreen to get another pick out of him. Like,
breaking news coming straight out of Cleveland. The Browns front office is pulling off shocking moves today that are sending shockwaves across the NFL. After the jaw-dropping decision to cut their entire roster, the big bombshell now is that Kenny Pickett has been traded to the Raiders. What in the world is going on with the Browns? With fans and media turning up the heat, this decision follows right after a highly controversial preseason finale. Now, rumors have been flying that the Browns could make a push for Shedeur Sanders, but that move alone would probably spark chaos all over the league. So, right now, they've taken a bold swing, but it's leaving everyone wondering if this is genius or pure desperation. Some reports are even hinting that the Browns might be preparing to dump Kevin Stefanski too.
Listen, to me, I guess, but they should have just rolled with the 3 that they got right down from the jump street. So, again, another Cleveland Browns being the Cleveland Browns.
The Cleveland Browns quarterback situation has been a messy drama for a long time, with both fans and analysts demanding that the team finally make a serious change. For months, the big debate has been whether the Browns should move on from Kenny Pickett or Joe Flacco. Despite all that noise, head coach Kevin Stefanski stuck with Pickett, handing him the starting job even over both rookies. It's obvious Stefanski put his faith in Pickett and wanted him to remain the guy, maybe even with the idea that he could later try to swing a deal for Shedeur Sanders down the road. But let's be honest, Kenny Pickett has never been the real solution in Cleveland. His play wasn't enough to quiet down the critics. And once the battle in quarterback camp started to get intense, the Browns front office, led by GM Andrew Berry, finally came to the realization that change was long overdue.
Really, really good. Yeah, cool. Proud of you. All right. Cool. Really, really nice stuff.
You're not fully proud.
Kenny Pickett isn't the first player to walk out of the Browns camp before the NFL season even begins. GM Andrew Berry has been watching everything closely. And when Kevin Stefanski made the reckless decision to use an offensive line that ended up getting Shedeur Sanders injured, it completely clashed with the GM's patience. Right after the game, with fans and media exploding over the situation, Berry went all in with a shocking move. In a drastic reaction to the growing outrage, he ripped up the contracts of the entire defensive line and axed the deals of multiple players, including quarterback Tyler Huntley, who had only just stepped in for Shedeur during the previous matchup. Huntley's brief appearance, nothing more than a 2-minute rush, created its own storm and piled even more pressure on the Browns front office. What this really exposes is the massive disconnect inside the Browns organization. Kevin Stefanski had been stubborn in his belief that Kenny Pickett would eventually prove himself. Yet, out of nowhere, the team suddenly shipped him off. At the same time, Stefanski's treatment of Shedeur Sanders raised serious questions, as he looked more focused on pushing him to the sidelines than actually giving him the recognition or opportunities he deserved. These clashing approaches make it clear that the coach's vision no longer lines up with the front office. With such extreme and confusing moves being made, a lot of people are beginning to question whether Kevin Stefanski's time in Cleveland is coming to an end. The whispers about a possible coaching change are getting louder and harder to ignore, but for now, the true direction of the franchise is still up in the air. And that point feels even stronger as former Browns wide receiver T.J. Houshmandzadeh didn't hold back at all when blasting Stefanski's treatment of Shedeur Sanders. According to him, throughout his entire time with the team, he had never witnessed a coach show so little effort in actually putting a player in position to succeed. He argued that Kevin Stefanski's attitude toward Shedeur Sanders felt more personal than professional, and the favoritism was so obvious that anyone could see it. T.J. Houshmandzadeh warned that if this perception keeps growing, the demands for Stefanski's firing will only get louder, forcing the Browns' leadership into a corner where they'll have no choice but to finally make a move.
The fans gonna be saying, Shedeur our quarterback. Shedeur should be our starter. Shedeur should be the guy that starts game 1, week 1. Look what he did. They didn't want that to happen. And I don't know what's going on with Kevin Stefanski. It's almost as if, and I don't even want to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. It's like he don't want Shedeur to.
The fallout from all this has been impossible to ignore. Kevin Stefanski's body language alone showed a man who knows his job may be slipping away. T.J. Houshmandzadeh doubled down, reminding everyone that this wasn't the first time Shedeur Sanders was pushed aside. Back in the opening preseason game, Shedeur played clean and mistake-free. Yet, Stefanski refused to give him any recognition. Fast forward to the latest matchup, and it looked like Stefanski was flat-out painting Shedeur as the problem, almost as if he was trying to protect his own bad decisions. TJ even suggested the entire situation looked staged, with Shedeur being set up to fail from the start instead of getting a real shot to prove his value. TJ's take turned out to be spot on. Kevin Stefanski's favoritism was on display from the very start of the preseason. Even though Shedeur Sanders delivered an impressive performance that grabbed the attention of both fans and analysts, Stefanski shrugged it off. Instead of giving Shedeur the praise he clearly earned, the coach hid behind empty comments about focusing on the development of all quarterbacks. To most people, it was obvious Stefanski never had any real plan to elevate Shedeur's role, making it clear from day one that he had no intention of letting the young quarterback actually succeed in Cleveland.
Concern myself with outside type of things, but I'm committed to his development, just like all of our rookies. So we'll continue to focus on getting our guys better, and that's what we'll stay committed to, and that's what's important to me.
With Pickett now gone, Kevin Stefanski suddenly appears to be softening his stance on Shedeur Sanders as the intense scrutiny mounts. The same coach who once brushed off concerns and unfairly criticized Shedeur is now trying to flip the narrative, claiming his top priority will be helping the young quarterback develop. But this sudden turnaround says it all. It doesn't look like genuine belief in Shedeur. It looks like Stefanski scrambling under the weight of pressure from angry fans and relentless media. His backpedaling proves just how much outside noise is now controlling his decisions. Stefanski is right in the middle of a storm in Cleveland, and the pressure surrounding him has never been heavier. What started as confidence in Kenny Pickett has quickly collapsed into a string of decisions that have only turned up the heat on the coach. His refusal to properly recognize Shedeur Sanders, combined with questionable roster calls, has painted the image of a leader completely out of touch with both his players and the fan base. Every move Kevin Stefanski has made in recent weeks seems to have blown up in his face. Whether it was sticking with Pickett for far too long, brushing off Shedeur's standout preseason performance, or putting him behind an offensive line that left him exposed to needless danger, the backlash has been brutal. Fans, analysts, and even former players like TJ Houshmandzadeh have piled on, leaving Stefanski's credibility hanging by a thread as speculation about his job security grows louder every single day. Yet, in the middle of all this chaos, there still seems to be one path left for Kevin Stefanski. The turning point could come through Shedeur Sanders himself. By finally giving Shedeur the chance he's earned, Stefanski might not only cool down the pressure, but also start repairing his shattered image. The sword is hanging over his head, but embracing Shedeur could be his only way to survive. What's your take on the drama unfolding in Cleveland? Has Stefanski's mishandling of Shedeur Sanders and blind loyalty to Kenny Pickett completely blown up in his face? Or is he just another victim of the Browns' chaotic front office? Do you believe putting Shedeur on the field for real reps could save the coach's job? Or is it already too late for him to win back the trust of fans and players? And the biggest question of all, will Stefanski be fired, or can he survive this storm by finally putting his faith in Shedeur Sanders? Drop your thoughts below and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more Breaking Browns drama.